Alright, well, we have, I think this is about as good as it's going to get, so we're going to need to move this node downstairs. I have a room I want to put it in. It's the second of my two rooms where my bed is right now. So, but how do we move a node? Well, I mean, we could bottle it, but that would probably damage it. And I don't really want to damage it, so what we're going to do instead is go ahead and put this right here, tap it with the wand like that, and then set this up right here. You're going to love this. So it turns out that you can use blood magic translocators or these little doohickeys right here to actually break through this. We're just going to let this, I think it's probably not going to drain anymore from that. But let's hop through here, right? And let's just put it, we need a target, so let's just, maybe, can we get it this far? We can do it in multiple steps. There we go. So now all we have to do is give a redstone pulse to the target block upstairs, like so, and we will move the thing. So, well, I guess this node is just refusing to die. And there you can see, we've actually grabbed that, right? How cool is that? So all I have to do now is just maybe grab our target block, this over here, and I can do it again. And I can pretty much move it like this, leapfrogging all I want. Now, if I was a little bit further along in blood magic, I could use that technique. So let's go ahead, put this here, tap it there, bind it. I really love these blocks. They're really cool. And let's put it right over here, I think. So we're going to put it right there. Yeah, let's, because this is where the thing will be. There we go. And there we go. We have now got our node all set up. Boop and boop. Now, what we need to do is stabilize the node. There's no reason to not have it stabilized, and in fact, it's a prerequisite. And as you can see, I've got a lot of stabilizers in my inventory down here. So let's go ahead and grab... Actually, I have one literally in my inventory. What am I doing? What am I doing? So let's go ahead and stabilize this node to start. That looks so cool. Okay, now what we need to do is make a node energizer or transducer, I think it's called. And what this is going to do is basically change the node's mode. So it's going to go from, oop, I don't want to do that. It's going to change it. Yes, what we need to do is make a comparator. I think we have some Nitor, blocks of redstone, and node stabilizers. Really, that's not that much. Just, do we have any Nitor? In that we do. So that's fantastic. And then let's grab the, let's make a comparator before we continue. I think that we have everything we need for that. We have no nether quartz. We've got to, yeah, we do. It's just not the right type. And then we need to make some redstone. Fortunately, I was out mining recently, and we have 4 blocks of redstone ready to go, custom made. So the transducer, and let's grab the transducer. All right, I'm excited about this. We need 1 more block of redstone. I just happen to know that this is the case. You'll see why in a moment. And oh, by the way, we just literally just updated the mod pack to 3.2.20, like as we were talking. Let's go ahead and put that there, and then let's put this here. And we'll have to give it a sec, because basically now it's going to kind of, as you can see, just kind of rip the node apart. It looks like a little lightning bottle. That's so cool. I'm really excited about this. This process is amazing. And now we should actually have... I'm really curious what's going to happen with the secondary attributes. I've actually never seen anybody do this on a node with secondary attributes. It could be a huge waste. Or it may be awesome. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it's about to do, so I'm excited about what we're going to do here. Oh, not bad. Not bad. So all the other stuff came primal. 5s, 4 in water and earth. I sort of knew that would happen. So this is Centiviz, and I guess all the other attributes got converted down to their respective primals, because that's higher than I would expect. That is pretty cool looking. Alright, so now we have a source of energy. What we need to do is basically make some let me pull up my Thaumcraft, I can show you. So now this power is super cool, but it needs to be routed around. And in this case, I think it's, yeah, it can't just be run around on its own. It needs to have conduiting. So if we do this and we look over here, yeah, we can make these relays with this very simple recipe. Now, fortunately, Sace and I have just gone and raided the Eldritch, because he's a little bit further ahead, and you can see he's given me a stack of balance shards. You just can find them literally on the walls there. Not that they're that expensive, but they are kind of tedious to make. They're just not the easiest thing in the world to make. But the plus side is that we can basically just make a whole bunch of these really fast. I think we can even do this. Yeah, so let's just make, I don't know, 10 of them. Seems good. Seems like a good start. And now we have amazing lasers. Check this out. So we could put like one, I don't know, how about right here? Yeah, pew! Oh, that's so cool looking. Now, what happens if we put one out here? Does it go through walls? No, it doesn't go through walls. So we're actually going to have to make like little ductwork between. Now, I think that it shouldn't be a very long shot between this room and the next room. Yeah. So we could actually go through a wall here, and it would be pretty easy. So let's go like this. Is that sufficient? All right, and now you can see it's actually starting to route. You saw that little puff of red there? It's routing Ignis in, which is, you know, pretty much exactly what we want. That's, yeah, basically exactly what we needed to do. So with that in mind, we should just be able to repair the wall here, because this, I mean, I can fix it later, but this one's really bugging me. And I guess I'll maybe have to think, I wonder if it can go through like glass. That'd be really cool if it could go through glass, because then we could maybe use like Alf glass and have it look like a little bit of a magical conduit. Let's see here. Let's grab some glass and just see if it can go. Because if it's like an actual laser, that would be, I would be happy with that outcome. So I just wanted to show you, by the way, how incredibly fast this is with Ignis. So let's go ahead and toss in some copper ore here. And that'll get cooked up pretty quick by overclockable machines. Gets dropped in, and then that's about as fast as we could possibly hope. So, I mean, so long as we can... thank you, Charm. That's perfect, exactly what we want. Yeah, but so long as we can, you know, hold things open, basically this system runs incredibly fast. Much faster than, like, well, I mean, it's debatable if this is actually faster. But let's get to the next really cool thing. So I've made this focal manipulator. This is not the cheapest object that we have. Stupid inventory tweaks. But it does give us a really, really cool thing that we can do. So there we go. We got this now, and we should be able to actually add augments to our focuses now. So we've got a pouch. Let's go ahead and pull out a focus here, this wand focus of excavation. And if we go ahead and toss this on, we can start to basically set things up like we'd like it to be frugal, we'd like it to have potency, or we'd like it to have treasure. It acts like a fortune or looting. That's really tough. I think I would like it to go a little bit faster. And then I'd like it to, let's see, let's start with frugal, because it's a little bit too expensive as it is. And so that's going to need a bunch of power. And it's actually going to be transmitting this power in there. So that looks really, really cool. This is like Ars Magica level cool, right? Way cooler, actually, than Ars Magica. It doesn't take too long to get that much power, but it is a little while. So there we got that now. And now we could actually enlarge how large an area the focus power affects. So does that mean we'll also need 16 experience levels? Well, that's no problem, although we'll have to run upstairs. Let me just grab some experience. Let's just go ahead and put that right there. Let's, I don't know, grab 10 levels, and let's add this enlarge. I can't get over how cool that is. Well, while that's percolating, there's another thing that we could do here that would be nice, and that is use this power to charge our wands. Now, there's other things we can do to charge wands, but this is sort of a temporary measure. So if we look in our book, we'll see a pretty useful tool called the V charging relay, which involves basically nothing at all. I mean, it's not very much. We should have enough power. Yeah, we're just a little bit short. We'll maybe be able to pull some out. But let me just go ahead and get the basic setup. So we need to put these conduits back into the system. And we need to make a great wood rod. We have just enough V for this. Okay, so now we can toss this on here on the charge relay, right? And this fits on top of here. And, pew! Yeah, you can see it actually pulls down on there. And now we can toss a wand, like this one, on there. And we don't have the best node that you could possibly want, but you can actually see that all this power is going through there and charging things up. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this. And you could see we actually could... we could actually do a bunch of other stuff here. So I don't like the dowsing upgrade because it's superfluous for us. We already can double ores with our machines. There's an argument that we could get Silk Touch. Let's go ahead and grab another one of these while we're at it, and we'll need 24. You know, I'm not even afraid anymore. Whatever's watching me, watch. Maybe it's Korjancha that was watching me. And we'll go ahead and pick one of these. Alright, so that is 2 enlarges, 2 treasures, and a frugal, which I think will be pretty good. So let's go ahead and test this out. This is my first modified wand focus, and how better to test it than to hop into this hole in the floor that we were just digging. And, whoa. Whoa. Is that a customer? We haven't had a customer around these parts in a while. Customer. You're a nightmare customer, huh? We need a better weapon. This is kind of fruitless. Get anything good? Nothing really that we want. Okay, so let's see here. How about right there? So it seems to affect identical blocks nearby. So let's go ahead and chuck some of this garbage. That's cool. Okay, so that, yeah, that definitely is, and wow, it goes quite a bit bigger if you let it. Oh, wow, and the fortune is pretty strong. That's amazing. Okay, well, that's definitely going to make it easier for me to when I go mining for Certus. We've actually got pretty good usage on this, too. This is not so bad in terms of the cost. So let's swim back up here to where we can get out of here. And, yeah, that's fantastic. I'll have to try upgrading a few more of them. Well, folks, there's one other thing I wanted to get done in terms of, well, our next big task is power generation. Oh, by the way, I put in travel anchors. These are super cool. I managed to catch some Enderman souls. You may have noticed that I have some new machines down here, and we'll be using them in a little bit. But before I go on with resource generation, there's one other type of generation I wanted to do. I've been doing a lot of hand mining, and even if I do run a quarry, which I am about to, I still want to be able to do effective hand mining and tunneling. There are a lot of different ways that you can do that, but one of my favorite ways is to use the destruction catalyst. And you've seen me. Whoa, let's load in there, huh? By the way, if you ever see that happen, hold still. Don't move too much, because if you move too much, you can confuse your client and make it think that you really should die when you hit the void. So don't move too much, and you should be fine. You can always log out and try it again if you're worried about taking damage. Anyways, this is the destruction catalyst, and you'll note that when I right-click it, it doesn't do anything, because and I can turn down the mode, I can do all sorts of things, like, so if I turn down the charge on it to just a little bit, right, I still can't do anything, because I don't have any charge. Now, let me just, I think that there's some coal right around here I could grab. It needs fuel, and that's just the nature of equivalent exchange, is that all the tools actually need fuel. In this way, they're actually kind of, here's some coal. They're actually kind of balanced. It's kind of amazing, actually, that they are. Because this isn't just a thing, like, here we go, boop, 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 boop. And now I can do it for a little bit, but then it stops because I'm out of fuel. We can fix that, though. Ooh, look, water shards. Awesome. I could use these. By generating EMC directly. And so I went and I did a whole bunch of mining, because I was basically out of diamonds, and there we go. I was basically out of diamonds, and now I'm not out of diamonds. Because I went and I just mined the heck out of it. As you can see, we just have a lot of diamonds, because I spent maybe 3 hours in the mining age running around grabbing things, so we're good for now. And this system, I patched it all up, works super well. What we're going to do next is make a pretty straightforward system to actually generate some EMC. So we got like 80 diamonds. That's a bunch of diamonds, but we're going to be using a lot of them here. So we should want to be able to do this all in one go and make sure that we actually get returns, because if you go too early into EMC automatic generation, it's just not good. It's just not what you want. So let's get started. What we're going to do first is we're going to make some collectors. These are the infamous or famous, depending on how you look at it, collectors from ProjectE. These are energy collectors, and there's multiple tiers of them. And what they do is, based off of light, they passively generate EMC. And it's not too great to start, so we're actually going to make several of these, right? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll start with 5, right? That's right, we're going to be making 5 diamond blocks. So this is going to pretty much seriously hurt our diamond supply. But we should be able to make that and a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still okay. Let's toss these in, and now we should be able to make the glowstone blocks we need. And I'm just going to make a ton of them, like so. And then let's go ahead and make our collectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, individually, these collectors don't really do anything together. So we can hop over here. I think if we just, we're going to do a little bit of our work in this room temporarily. It will not be a thing where we go for very long. This has enough light. It's not quite enough light, but there is enough light for us to do something in here. And you can see it just starts generating EMC. If I were to toss in something like, let's say, coal, I could start to upgrade this. So let's go coal, toss this in, and basically this machine can start by increasing the quality of fuel. So if we toss this in, it's going to go there, and you can see that the next thing it's going to turn us into, it's going to take this, the EMC64, and it's going to try to add enough EMC to it to turn it into the next tier of fuel, which in this case is gunpowder. So it added enough to make 192 EMC, and it's going to sit there doing it. Now, you can put down multiples of these, and they don't talk to each other, but they all gain EMC. So this one's going, yeah, you can see this one's going a little bit faster now, and this one like this. You know, it's all going faster. What was that? Did I just blow something up? There's no Ars Magica, so what on earth was that? Okay, well, whatever. Maybe there's just someone nearby. Who knows? Yeah, so you can see that these are all sort of channeling together, but that's not even necessarily what we want to do, because what we actually want to be able to do is charge things up. So now this is going to make blocks of redstone, right? And then we're going to keep charging up from there. Because what we'd like to be able to do is take the EMC and carry it with us. Now, we can carry big blocks of fuel, or we can make a, let's see, if we go over here, Kleinstar. So this Kleinstar is essentially an EMC battery, and if we charge it up, then we'll be able, it's going to be awesome, we're going to be able to actually carry EMC and use our destruction catalyst without having to worry about things. The recipe is simple. It's, ooh, wow, big thunder, big thunder. It is a diamond surrounded by Mobius fuel, so we're going to need, could folks not be causing a massive storm? Let's just all go and sleep. The recipe for it is simple enough, and I actually just waited a little while for the collectors to make a Mobius fuel block. I put down all of them, they started combining their energy together, and boom, you got this. EMC batteries, woo! You can see that I really haven't made this before. That is the achieve. So this is cool, but it has no stored EMC. Oh, we should teach our table this for sure, because these are actually really useful to get over time. Now, if I go ahead and put this over here, this actually now fills up, and you see it takes away a ton of the EMC. So now it's full. We filled it up. That's one way to do it, but it's still ultimately driven by items. It's difficult to translate. You want to go over here and like translate it over there. And if we go over here, you'll see that there isn't an easy way to make this work. Like we can't put it here. It doesn't do anything. You know, it really isn't doing anything at all. So that's not what we want. But if we were to say, I don't know, run over here and fire this off. Oh, hey, little bat. Hey, little bat. Goodbye. And fire this off, it just works, right? We don't have any fuel in our inventory, right? But boom, boom, boom. Fantastic. And the reason it works is because it's pulling EMC out of our Kleinstar. It's probably, you know, it'll be fine. What could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong. That's not a spawn trap. Let's go ahead and toss this stuff into the system, by the way. Super cool. That will just start processing. And I am so, by the way, so impressed by how incredibly fast this fully upgraded thing is. Look, it just flies out. That's just amazing, right? That's as fast as you're going to get with most upgraded things. I may build another one just because I'm positive it'll work. Anyways, let's get back to the task at hand. We're going to build one more expensive thing, and that is what's called an antimatter relay. The relays are pretty slick objects. They do require a little bit more stuff, though. I mean, like we got another diamond block, and then we need to surround it with obsidian, right? Which I happen to have a bit of. And now, as you can see, by the way, our diamond supply is dwindling lower, and we're not quite done yet. Now, let's just see this here. I don't know if we put in gravel or something. No, we can only put in fuel. Let's just go ahead, accept the loss, and break this. Now, the relays have some neat properties, not the least of which is that they have this distinct privilege of adding one of the few things that actually adds power onto existing things. Let me show you what I mean by that. So if we go like this, so we'll put the actual antimatter relay there. We'll put another collector up there. You'll notice that power is now flooding into this, right? I think we're going to have to move this down by one. That's true, though. Yes. So let's move it down by one. Should be fine. So now you'll notice that power is flooding into the relay. Now, unlike the other interfaces, which were just escalating fuel, this we can actually put in here, and you'll see that it actually charges up. So that's sort of perfect. Right, and then we can go ahead and actually have this charge up everything. That's exactly what we like, right? But here's the interesting part. For every adjacent collector, you get one benefit. Now, this guy, it turns out that these actually pass light through them, so this guy has enough light. And we can actually make it better if we go grab some blocks of glowstone. I think we still have a few. Yeah, let's grab these 10 blocks of glowstone. And the reason I moved it down was because if we can just put this here, 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 and here, now that will actually cause all of these to max out their generation. Now, for each EMC that comes into the relay, it gives a bonus EMC, and it gets to be better and better as you build more of those, right? Now, let's stop and think for a second. We could put in one more of these fancy, let's see, is this one getting enough light? Yeah, he is, because the light passes through. We're getting lots and lots of EMC here now. And I think if we put this in, yeah, whoa, that's draining out into it. But we can actually put it back in. Cool. We are getting close to optimal here. But if we were to put one more collector, then we couldn't access it. And that's always been historically the limitation of these designs. You always had to leave, and typically you left the top open because light passed through. So you could just like put, like it would be fine. If we broke that top one, then this would not actually be affected. It's just there for sort of looks and symmetry, right? But that is the days of old. That's the days of old, and we are not about the days of old. We're about the new. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab two tools that you've seen me use a few times, and I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a minute. We're going to make another collector. Now, here's the plan. Let me show you the plan. The plan is that we're going to put another collector and another glowstone block right there. But before we do that, we're going to take this transvector dislocator from Thaumic Tinkerer, right? We're going to pop this, let's see, how about right over here? Yeah, it'll look cool right over here, right? Let's go ahead and put, why is there another block like that? Why am I jumping? Why am I digging straight down? Why was I doing that terrible plan? I'm terribly sorry, everyone. Let's go ahead and put this right here. And then we're going to give it a tap of the wand to point that straight up. Right. Now, all we have to do is tap the the transvector binder right here. Or, I'm sorry, right here. Shift right click, the location set. Binding complete. Let's grab a lever from the system so you can really see how awesome this is. So all we have to do is give that a redstone signal, and it gets plucked right out. The transvector dislocators are cool because unlike the blood magic dislocators, which have much better range and generally are a little, a little bit easier to use. Well, I shouldn't say easier, but they're more powerful. They can cross dimensions. They're much more flexible. But these don't need a target block. So we can just go ahead and put that back, which means for us, there's no problem actually making what they call the full star. So now this thing is basically capable of pulling off a whole bunch of power, and we can just yank it right out. So now we can pull out our thing there, and then we can toss it back in, and now it will gather, and it's a battery of a much greater caliber than the other things that we've done. So now we can effectively generate all sorts of material. Now, of course, what's good is that, right? Well, there is the one final piece of this puzzle that we're going to be using. So that block can hold a lot of energy. What we'd like to have it do is put that energy to good use. So we're going to be building a couple of little pieces here. One is we're going to build something called a condenser. The condenser needs an alchemical chest, but otherwise is a fairly inexpensive thing. And you know, while we're at it, before I forget about this, we should, how much EMC do we have in there? 8,000? I mean, that's a diamond. We'll change this. We should really make sure to teach the system all of these things. So let's go ahead and grab this and make sure that the system knows about these, because you actually get a slight discount, I think, for making them this way. Yeah, so now that is 80. No, I guess not. Let's go ahead and put that back. I'll move the relay in a sec when I show you what the condenser can do. Condenser! Condense the world! Woo! Fireworks. Thank you, TT Core. Thank you, TT Terg. Or T-Terg. All right, so the condenser has but one role, and that is to make more of whatever you see. So let's see, for example, we've got a lot of these. Let's ask it to start making Klein stars, right? And you can see now that it's going to pull all sorts of power from this relay, right? And put that towards making Klein stars. And we're actually halfway there. Now, if I wait a moment or two, then that will just work. So we can actually start making Klein stars. Now, why would we want to do that? It doesn't like you get extra energy, but 4 Klein stars increases our capacity. And then more Klein stars increases the capacity even more. And then so on and so forth. So these batteries just get bigger and bigger. So this is actually a pretty good target for us. We'd like to make 4 of them. And of course, we can always drain the power out and use them there. So if we were to take this and dump it out, we would get more than 16,000 EMC. But right now, we only get 50,000. And you'll notice, by the way, that this is just a copy. This isn't the actual thing. So, you know, we dump this out. And you can see that we're actually even closer now because this goes pretty quick. So what I'm going to do is just wait until we get one more star. In the meantime, though, I'm going to go and I'm going to make one of those magical hourglasses that you've seen me make. I used them in the other build, the Botania build, in a previous episode. There we go. Magic hourglass. Pretty easy build. A lot easier to recharge our wands now, too, although a little bit of a pain. So now if we remove this, right, and we put this down, and we just set this. Yeah, so this magic hourglass, right now it's set way too slow. But you can see that that will just cause it to tick forever. We can just sort of hide that in the back, right? But check it out. We're really close to acquiring, you know, that setup. So all we have to do now is just start setting up an alternating redstone pulse, and this will allow us to pull it off. Yep, there you go. So we can go ahead and configure that as we see fit. Let's just flip that again real fast, and look, we've made another Klein star. So let's go ahead and set this up so that this alternates, like so. Now, the nice thing, by the way, is that when there isn't an antimatter relay sitting in there, right, these things will just sit there and charge on their own. Now, we do lose a little bit of time, really, we do want to kind of switch this pretty fast. So let's go ahead and let's make it 5 seconds is too little. Let's make it every 15 seconds. And the redstone signal should be alternating, I think. There we go. So now that will just run forever, and it will cause us to just generate a lot of EMC. What we may do is set this timer up to be, maybe I could set something a little more complicated, but basically what we want to do is make a pulse, wait 5 seconds, then make another pulse. So if I made another timer, I could probably do that really easily. And that would be smart. So let me go ahead and make another magic hourglass and show you the final part of this build. Because really what we want to do is minimize the amount of time that we have this outside of the block, because that is ultimately a fail for us, right? That's not what we want. Yeah, give me a sec. Let me tune this build just a little bit.